All right, are we good? Are we live? I think we are. Hello all and welcome back to the Women's Football Chat Live. Tonight we're live for yet more Women's Champions League action and we kick off tonight's schedule as Barcelona take on Benfica. Barcelona have been incredibly strong in the group stage so far. They've been very successful, winning every game except from their last outing where they drew with Chelsea. Tonight they'll be looking to get back to winning ways against a side in Benfica who they should be quite comfortable against. So if Barcelona are victorious tonight, they would all but confirm their place into the quarter-finals. So let's start with Barcelona, Harry. Imperious so far in the group stage. How would you summarise their performances?
Very, very strong, completely dominant, and exactly what we'd expect from Barcelona. They'll be disappointed they missed out on the title last season, losing to Arsenal in that final, but they have bounced back in style and have been really, really solid in the group stage. I don't think that, 3 wins and a draw is a very, very good record. A draw away at Chelsea isn't a bad result either. So, yeah, all things considered, it's been brilliant from Barcelona. The job not done yet, though. Get the win tonight. Make sure you confirm that top 4 place. Make sure they confirm themselves into the quarterfinals. And then in that last game, they can have a bit more of a rest and a relax bit about it. But get the job done tonight and they'll be in a very, very good position. And with the opposition like Benfica, you'd expect Barcelona to continue that dominant, that dominant form and to once again control this game. But football, anything can happen in football sometimes.
Yeah, well, you mentioned their rest, and already a slightly rotated side for Barcelona, more through necessity, and that will be the overarching theme of Barcelona this season. Their squad isn't particularly big. Patrick Gallardo's already been a big loss. Now losing Aitana Bonmati as well. We expect Gallardo back around February. Bonmati now looking likely to be May. So they're 2 big losses for Barcelona. Arguably, Gallardo, more important a loss than Bonmati. So, slightly rotated side tonight. Let's start then with the team for the hosts. It's a 4-3-3, of course, for Barcelona. It'd be a sacrilege if it was anything else. In goal, it's Catacol. A back 4 of Kamara, Lea Alexandri, Mape Leon, and Esme Brooks. In midfield 3, Sara Jordi is in the pivot with captain Alexia Putellas and Vicky Lopez alongside her. On one side, it's Graham Hansen. On the other, Claudia Pina, and leading the line, it is Eva Payor. Even without Gallardo and Bonmati and Ona Vatier, that's still an incredibly strong Barcelona team.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. Quality across the board, and it's what happens when you have so many world-class players. You have the ability to rotate and still look as strong as ever. It's a great front 3 that are going to cause Benfica problems. Creators behind with the experience and class of the likes of Putellas, the excitement. Love watching Vicky Lopez play every time we see her. She seems to shine, and still a very strong backline. But yeah, world-class 11 from Barcelona and a lot of quality in that team that Benfica will do very well to handle.
Yeah, Barcelona, they're a very young bench. I think that will be that's a big thing for Barca this season is that starting 11 is still incredibly strong, but the question will be where's that depth coming from? For games like tonight, though, should be no issue, and Barca look very strong. As for the visitors, then Benfica, Ivan Baptista matching Barca in terms of formation. Though in terms of quality, there is quite a gap. It's a 4-3-3 for the visitors. In goal, it is Pauwels. A backline then of Amado, captain Carol Costa, Uchebe and Lund. In the midfield 3, it's Beatriz, it is Gaspar, and it is Almeida. On one side, Lucia Alves. On the other, Davidson. And leading the line, it is Martin Prieto. Interesting Benfica side then. Who are the players to look out for in this Benfica team? Then we watched them play against Arsenal, watched them play against Juventus as well. They're the biggest games that Benfica have had so far, really. Who are the players to look out for tonight that could cause Barcelona some issues?
Well, if Benfica are going to stand any chance tonight, they've got to use Martin Prieto, got to get her on the ball, hold that up, and if anything, Martin, she's going to be more important in a defensive sense than going forwards, which sounds weird because she's a striker, but if she can hold that ball up, she'll just take a bit of pressure off that Benfica backline, which is more crucial than actually Benfica coming forwards today. So they can get the ball forwards, and to get Martin Prieto to hold that ball up, they might have a better chance of managing to resist this Barcelona pressure, or at least managing to resist it for longer than many people expect. But it's going to be a difficult one for Benfica. I think they've been very hit and miss in the Champions League this season. I think both performance and results-wise, I think there's been certain games where they've played well and not got the result across the line. The Juventus game, I think, is a good example of that. And the Arsenal one, again, they held on well there, but just fell away towards the end. But there's also been other games where I think they have been really poor and have deserved to lose. The Paris FC game was a bit of a shocker, a silly red card, and then some really poor goals to concede. So Benfica have been really hit and miss. and they're going to need to play at the best of their ability to even stand a chance. We saw, as I thought they played well against Arsenal, but that wasn't enough to stop the reigning European champions. And it's that same sentiment tonight, is that even Benfica's best might not quite be enough, but it will at least give them a chance in this game. They've got to turn up and got to fight. If they turn up and roll over, Barcelona will take them to the cleaners. But if they turn up, they fight, they dig in, they work hard, and they're aggressive, they'll make it more difficult for Barcelona. They've got to make Barcelona work for it tonight and make them deserve the win. Don't play poorly and just allow them to walk all over you. Put up a good fight and force Barcelona to play well.
Yeah, the big one for me, for Benfica, is Uchebe. I think both sides of the ball, the centre half, I think being that threat from corners can be really important. I think if you are going to find a weakness in that Barcelona system, it could be height at corners. So I think Uchebe could be dangerous there. But also in terms of defensively, it's not a particularly quick back line for Benfica. And so they're going to have to be really disciplined. They're going to have to nail that line tonight, because if Barca do get in behind, well, I don't think they've got much of a chance of catching up. So that's going to be really important that they're disciplined. And I think Uchebe is a big part of that. But also she is probably their quickest defender. So in terms of being able to recover back and trying to deal with Eva Payol, both her pace and bind, but also her physicality, I think Uchebe is going to be really important tonight for Benfica. As for Barcelona, players with a bit of a point to prove, let's discuss, because Vicky Lopez, big boots to fill tonight of Aitana Bonmati, but we all know the quality that Vicky Lopez possesses.
Yeah, absolutely. She's a magical player. It's always a thing with injuries. It's horrible to see a player miss out, but what it does do is it presents opportunities for other players to come in and impress, to step up into that role. And as you say, Vicky Lopez has now got the weight on her shoulders of stepping up and delivering to the level that Aitana Bonmati usually does, which is a big ask, but Vicky Lopez is a phenomenal player. We know that. We've seen her shine for Barcelona and for Spain over the last year or two, and has kind of burst onto the scene and hit the ground running immediately. Looks so dangerous, and already has the ability to match some of the best players in the world. So again, if Barcelona can get Vicky Lopez on the ball tonight, she will cause problems. She will make it difficult for Benfica, and it's about picking up into the pockets. If she gets half a yard on the edge of the area, then she will she will score, or at least create something from that. So it's up to Benfica to make sure they close her down. But yeah, Vicky Lopez, a magical player, will cause all sorts of issues. And again, I fully believe that she can match that level of Bonmati, and or at least she's got the potential to be on the level of Bonmati.
I think in terms of being able to match the output potentially, but I think in terms of right now, I think Lopez's potential is huge. I think she can definitely become a player of the caliber of Bonmati. But I think in terms of how instrumental Bonmati is in so many different phases of play, I'm not sure you get that same effect from Lopez. I don't think it'll be a problem tonight. I think that the way that Benfica will look to play is to sit off a little bit more. And so I think Barcelona won't have too many issues in terms of building up and progressing the ball. And then it'll just be about whether they can break Benfica down, which with the players they've got and the quality they've got, I don't think that'll be too much of an issue. So a game like tonight, you probably could have benched Aitana Bonmati and played Lopez anyway. But we'll be interested to see how that Barcelona, if Benfica can bring physicality in midfield, it'll be interesting how Barca can respond to that. Now, let's get into predictions then for the game, because the players are making their way out of the tunnel. So if you're watching along to the show, get involved in the live chat and we'll make sure to go through your scoreline predictions before kickoff. But we're going to start here in the studio, and we'll start with yourself, Harry. Barcelona Benfica, what is your prediction?
I think there's only one real prediction that everyone is probably going to share. I'm going to say a Barcelona win. I think they've got too much quality for Benfica, and although I think the Portuguese side will put up a half decent fight, it won't be enough to stop the three-time champions. I will say Barcelona 4, Benfica 0. I think it will be another dominant victory for Barcelona. I will say goals to come from a double from Alexis Putellas, one for Eva Payol, and the fourth goal will come through Esme Briggs.
Yeah, fair enough. I'm going to say a slightly stronger 5-0 win for Barcelona. I think they've been very good in the group stage, but outside of the opener against Bayern, they haven't really handed out a drubbing.
Yeah.
So I think they'll be keen to put 5 past Benfica this evening. I think from watching Benfica as well, they're an okay side, but I think there are some blatant weaknesses that Barcelona can exploit. I think especially that pace in behind. If Barca can get those players in behind, I think they will cause issues this evening. So, yeah, I think it'll be comfortable. I'll say 5-0. I'm going to go for a Claudia Pina hat-trick. I'm going to say a goal for Vicky Lopez, and I'm going to say a goal for Caroline Graham-Hanson. I think she could do with one. If any Barcelona player needs a goal, it's probably Graham-Hanson. But do get your predictions in the live chat. H with a 3-0 win for Barcelona. Fair enough. I think that is a fairly safe bet. And the poll in chat at the moment, 43 votes, 93% expecting Barcelona to win, 7% going Benfica, nobody predicting a draw.
Wow, there is someone out there who is either a Real Madrid fan or they're really backing Benfica. But yeah, it's the kind of game where if Barcelona really get control of it, they've got so much quality in so many different areas. They could, really cause some problems. So yeah, I think it's one of those where it could be a drubbing, and it could be so many different players getting involved. I think you see these Barcelona games where they walk off the pitch and 8 or 9 players have popped up with a contribution, and that's what Benfica have got to be careful of tonight. Is that they don't, against Barcelona, you can't focus in on one player. You can't go out there and go, right, tonight we're going to stop Payor, because what happens then is Putellas and Lopez and Graham-Hanson, they'll just run riot and tear you apart. So it's really hard to put up with the relentlessness of that Barcelona attack.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the fluidity in the system, the way that they can move the ball quicker than you, the way that they can, dominate sides, it's incredibly difficult to stop. And it's what makes Barcelona so imperious. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they fare in this competition. I think Barcelona have probably got it's probably their weakest squad for, the last few years, just because it is incredibly light. I think their starting 11 is absolutely phenomenal when fully fit. But I think it is an incredibly light squad. So that'll be what is tested later in this competition. But as we're seeing in the early stages, the starting 11's remarkably strong and they're absolutely fine at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those where it is fine right now, as you say. But if they get an injury crisis similar to the Arsenal one a couple of years back or Man City last season, then suddenly it puts you in a bit of a spot of bother. But they've got to make sure they balance it. I think tonight, the aim will definitely be to get a few goals, put this game to bed, and then be able to bring on those young players, rest up the likes of Putellas and Payor, and just be able to bring on those those youth prospects to get the job done, and also to give them an opportunity.
We're about to go underway here at the Estadio Johan Cruyff. Barcelona to get us started in this game. Payor from the middle knocks it back and underway here in Barcelona. It's Barcelona taking on Benfica in matchday 5 of the Women's Champions League. Benfica are out of the competition, I believe, at this stage. Barcelona would only require a win to make it automatically into the quarterfinals. Or I think if they win, they'd either need results to go their way this evening, or they'd need a point in matchday 6. So yeah, Barcelona a really strong position now to make top 4. And a prediction coming in the live chat from Shireen Haddad saying Barca will win 4-0 and Putellas to score. Fair enough. We'll keep your predictions coming in. It's Benfica who are throwing on this far side as Benfica look to try and progress the ball. Here is Amado. Thrown inside, flicked round the corner well from Martin Prieto who dropped in. Ball forwards from Amado. Beatriz tries to play it round the corner. Amado recovers after it was blocked away. It's cleared long, and now it's in possession of Barcelona. Leon. Back now to Catalina Cole. And Barca will look to play out from the back. Long ball out towards the left-hand side. Here's Esme Brooks. Brings it down well. Slips Payor in behind. Quick start for Barca. Rounds the goalkeeper. Payor with an empty net to aim to. Plays it to Putellas, and it's blocked wide. And Barca overplaying it there. Should have capitalised an early Powell's mistake.
Yeah, really should be 1-0 in the first minute. Brilliant football from Barcelona. It's a great ball in behind into Payor, who times the run perfectly. I have no idea what Powers is doing coming out this far. Payor rounds her and should just shoot. The angle has been tightened, which maybe you can credit Powers for there, but realistically, overplayed from Payor. Should have just touched and finished that past the goal, well, into an empty net, but a big let-off there for Benfica. They managed to recover and get the block in.
To be fair, after that ball was slipped in behind, Powers has probably done the best she could to prevent that being a goal. Ball into the box. That's cleared away well. And here is Camara.
But we already see that threat in behind from Barcelona. We know Benfica had a real problem with dealing with balls over the top. They just don't have the pace. Simple as that in the back line. We saw it we've seen it since Matchweek 1, really. If you get the ball over the top of those centre-halves, they will not catch the striker running.
They were all right against Juventus because their front three was a 35-year-old Cristiana Girelli and a 32-year-old, I think, Barbara Bonansea. So, yeah, they're okay in that game. But against this Barcelona front three, you're going to struggle to keep up. Leon down the line. Now Putellas. Back to Mappé Leon. And now Alexandri. Now towards the right-hand side, Camera. Plays it into Caroline Graham Hansen, who's being forced backwards in. Nice work from Lund. Pressing aggressively, but she does now shift it across to Leon, and Barca bringing the ball forwards. Here's Pina, who's dropped in deep, picked off well, though inexplicably sent forwards by Davidson.
Yeah, interesting decision that from Davidson, because it's one of those where, of course, you want to clear the ball, but that's a poor pass from Pina. You've picked it off. Just keep hold of the ball. You've given it straight back to Barcelona, who can then put you under more pressure.
Vicky Lopez into Camera, back inside to Lopez, who pokes it through to Caroline Grant and cuts it back. Chance now, saved well by Powers. Lopez blocked brilliantly by Uchebe. But it's one-way traffic at the moment, and Barcelona 3 shots in 3 minutes.
Huge save from Powers, but brilliant football down the right-hand side. Kamara into Lopez, into Hansen, looking back for Lopez, picked out Payor instead, who was denied from close range by Powers. That is a superb stop with the feet. Gets out quickly, gets out big. And then Lopez on the rebound is charged down by Uchebe. But Benfica are under a lot of pressure here early doors.
Yes, a great save to deny Claudia Pina in that central area. Now Barcelona with another corner. And it will be Mappé Leon on her left foot. Ball towards the edge of the box. Headed forwards. It's going to drop for Pina, who's just going to lift it over the bar. And that's out now for a Benfica goal kick. But Barcelona averaging a shot per minute. Yet, though, to find a goal in these opening stages.
Yeah, it's been a very fast start. And how many times have we seen them do this? Start fast, kill the game off, score 2 or 3 goals in the opening 15, 20 minutes and just turn an opposition over. But, as you say, it has been one-way traffic. They haven't scored yet, and that will be the lifeline for Benfica. But they can't hang on like this for the next 86 minutes, because this is the pressure they're under is just absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
They need to find a way to get a stranglehold on this game.
Alexandri, now Mappé Leon. Out now to the left-hand side. Here's Esme Brugts. Wants to take on the fullback. Great challenge there from Amado. And that's out for a Barcelona throw-in. Bruggs will take it quickly. Inside now to Serayorde. Back now to Leon. Looks to swing the ball into the box. It takes a deflection. And that's out for a corner kick.
Excellent from Benfica. They've done well there from the initial tackle on the right-hand side to stop Bruggs. And then getting out to that cross, not allowing that ball to come into the box. Yes, it's out for another corner, which is going to invite more pressure onto their own penalty area, but still getting that block in is vitally important.
It's one of those where it's a struggle for Benfica tonight, because naturally you want to sit really deep, but actually with how high Barcelona are, you've got to be brave.
Yeah.
That's the only chance you've really got. Ball towards the back post. Alexandri doesn't quite meet that in the way she would have wanted to. It's cleared away now. One in the air by Camera will drop for Chandra Davidson. Can't quite keep it under her control. Pass out now to the right-hand side. Uchebe closing down Payor. Now looks to track her run as she darts inside. Payor across now to Leon. Looks to put it back into the box. It's blocked down. And it drops in there for Davidson, who once again just tries to keep the ball under her control but can't quite manage it. And now Barcelona back in possession. Here's Vicky Lopez in the pocket again here. Lopez out wide to Caroline, into Alexia Putea, who's dropped into this wide space. And it's dealt with well by Lund. That's out for a Barcelona throw-in.
Yeah, another aspect for Benfica that is very important tonight is their discipline. I think in the opening few match weeks, they have been really poor at conceding a lot of free kicks and picking up a lot of cards.
Ball now into Hansen, who puts it into the box. Blocked down by Uchebe. Calls for a penalty. But referee disagrees.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I think it was a bit of an unorthodox clearance with the foot there from Uchebe.
I think it's the block. And her arm goes up, but it hits her hand. No, it hits the hits her leg and then bounces up. Sorry. But yeah, they are going to check this, but this would be incredibly harsh. Hits her body first and bounces up the body and brushes her arm. Don't think that's enough for a penalty. No deliberate attempt to play the ball. Doesn't block the ball. And indeed, the referee agreeing there, no penalty. Davidson tries to play it forward, picked off by Sarah Yorde, tries to slip it into Lopez, and it's turned over well by Benfica. Hansen now back to Camera. Camera will see it out. And now Barca can look to play from the right-hand side. Alexandri. Out now to the right-hand side. Lopez. Into Sarah Yorde. And now Camera. Sarah Yorde. Camera tries to play it forwards. Picked off there by Davidson. Now Lund plays it down the line. Alexandra keeps it in touch. Camera. That's cleared away well. Good intensity so far, I think, from Benfica. They're getting out well. They're quite disciplined. They haven't been drawn out by Barcelona, apart from obviously that ball in behind, but they did well to recover.
Yeah, they have done very well. And it's only when Barcelona get those 1-2 touch combinations going that they look really dangerous. Again, Lopez just forcing it a bit there, and that pass has gone out for a goal kick. But yeah, it's when Barcelona play those 1-2 touch combinations in tight areas that Benfica really struggle. But if they can stop Barcelona getting into those areas initially, then it will make it more difficult for the Spanish side.
Yeah. So Benfica playing out from the back. Uchebe now Powell's. Tries to lift it forwards. Great ball into Martin Prieto. Brings it under our control. One back in there well by Alexandri, who stepped on to the Benfica forward. Leon. Now into Bruggs. Holding the width well. Goes wider still into Pina. That's a great challenge in there from Amado. And then it's Bruggs on hand to stop her run.
It's really positive from Benfica. I think the fact they're trying to get the ball down, trying to play out is good. I think from St. Polten last night against Juventus, they were just too negative.
That's not great in there from Martin Prieto. Couldn't quite bring that under her control. Putellas now. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they sat in their own penalty area and waited for it to happen. I think the difference is that St. Polten genuinely don't have anyone at the level to play Champions League football, really, whereas this Benfica side, albeit nowhere near the quality of Barcelona, it's still a fairly decent team. And yeah, they're not as far off as someone like a Polten. But yeah. Mio Lessie, welcome to the stream. Says, where to watch the match is available exclusively on Disney+. But if you don't have access to Disney+, then you're welcome to watch along with us here. If you've got both, then feel free to watch both. Putellas brought down in there, not enough for that to be given as a foul. Martin Prieto back to Uchebe. Looks to play it long, headed away by Alexandri. Flicked on in there well by Caroline Graham Hansen. Now Lopez does really well there to get around Gaspar. Crosses the box is blocked well by Lund.
Yeah, really good burst that from Vicky Lopez. Just darts towards the byline. And sees her cross blocked. Just seeing that tackle challenge back on Putellas, nothing in it. Good challenge from the Benfica defender. Don't know many complaints either from Putellas either.
No, firm but fair. Barcelona now with this corner. And again, it will be Mape Leon. This time, though, it will be more of an in-swinger, naturally, as she is left-footed. Ball in towards the back post. Headed away well by Uchebe. It's going to drop on the edge for Camera. And, well, to call that a shot is generous, as Camera sent it towards the goal, though considerably wide off the mark.
Yeah, didn't quite catch that in the way that she would have liked. Fell to her pretty nicely on the edge of the area, although it was dropping quite considerably. But yeah, just didn't make any proper contact with it, really.
Powell's. Martin Prieto holds it up well. Now to play out to the left-hand side. It's got to drop for Lund, who plays it in behind. Chance now for Davidson, who gets the wrong side there of Camera, but the assistant referee, with a flag up. Interesting, she decided not to delay the flag there, with obviously VAR in operation tonight. To be fair, it was the right decision, but it was quite a tight call.
Yeah, that's a bold one to be absolutely sure on, as you say. But it was in a close one, but it probably was just over.
Yeah, Gaspar, the attacking midfielder, just going a little too early. Hansen, now Lopez back through to Hansen. Too much on that from Vicky Lopez, though. And that's out for a goal kick. Shireen says, why don't you guys just show the full match? Unfortunately, we were narrowly outbidded by Disney Plus for the rights by about a few hundred million. Gretchen says, watching on Power Plus, only one commentator, so I'm listening to you fellas. Thank you, Gretchen, for tuning in. Up to the left-hand side now. Lund goes down the line into Davidson, looking to turn out. Needs support here from our Benfica teammates. Lund back down the line. Martin Prieto tries there to take it past Alexandri. Unable to do so. It's one back by Barcelona. Lopez into Hansen. Not a great pass from Caroline Graham. Hansen, that's out for a Benfica throw.
Yeah.
She's got that one horribly wrong, really, Hansen.
Yeah, I don't. That felt like just a simple 5-yard pass. It just seemed to simply get it wrong.
Brilliant from Lopez there. Slips it through the legs of Almeida. Her pass forwards, though, intercepted by Uchebe. Here's Lund already under the cosh there from Hansen. Immediately she receives it, but it is out for a Benfica throw-in.
Yeah, it's another through ball from Lopez. It didn't quite come off. Her footwork is exemplary there. Beats one, puts it through the legs of the other. Again, so good with the ball at her feet. But once again, it was just that through ball. That time it was under hit, and that's because she had two where she's overhit it and it's ran out for a goal kick. So that time she's just tried to take pace off it and it's gone straight to the defender. Just needing to find that range really and that right way to ball, but it will come.
Leon Puteas now. Sarayorde. Pina looking to come inside, shifts it wide into Esme Brugts. Ball towards goal there from Brugts. And I'm not sure if she went for a cross or a shot. Either way, not the intended destination over the bar.
Yeah, I would have expected a bit better there from Brugts, who has enjoyed a very, very good Champions League campaign. Has popped up with quite a few contributions. But yeah, has looked very, very strong. As Brugts, and that delivery, though, wasn't quite up to the mark.
Also, invade that onto the stream, supporting Barcelona. Fair enough. I feel most of the chat is, with 93% of the poll going to Barcelona. Jumps in there now for a Barcelona free kick. Here is Sarayorde. Leon. Out wide into Esme Brugts. And back to Mappe Leon. Bats off Sarayorde. Looking for a forward option. Here's Puteas. Carries it forward into Pina. Slips it wide. Looking for Brugts. Gets back in there. Well, Amado, but it's one back by Esme Brugts. Now back to Leon, who slips it forwards again. Into Puteas in our space. To Pina on the edge box. Let's fly! Big save from the goalkeeper, Powell's. Struck well by Pina, but she gets down to it well and parries it wide.
Yeah, that's a superb stop. Really good football from Barcelona. The ball through Puteas is superb. Does well to cut it back to the edge of the area. Pina doesn't do too much wrong with this. Sees all the defenders running at her and manages to just slot it in between them. And that's a great save from Powers down to her right-hand side.
Yeah, looked really tight there for Puteas. That's an offside decision. I think that's what Powers there was complaining about after the save, but still really good stop from the Benfica keeper. Hansen, now Lopez, good delivery. Alexandri drops now for Pina off the crossbar. And the Barcelona not in front with that opportunity. Pina from point blank range puts her shot on the bar, and Benfica now looking to get out. Martin Prieto, great holds up. Sarayorde though, an obstacle in her way, and she wins back the ball. Puteas slips it through to Hansen. Brugts lifted over the top. Uchebe will get there and hooks it out of play. Benfica, a frantic response there after Barcelona brushing the bar.
Yeah, Barcelona really should be ahead. Great ball in from Lopez. And it was actually knocked on by Uchebe into the path of Pina, who really should do better. 7th shot of the game, that, for Barcelona.
Powell's having a really good game. Denied Puteas excellently a moment ago. Came out really bravely there, confidently. That's what forced that shot from Pina to be a little higher than it needed to be. And so, Benfica, it feels at the moment, delaying the inevitable. Barcelona yet to find a goal in this game. Back now to Leon. Cody Valentino says, wow, Pina should have scored there off the bar. And Dele says, Barca ruled. Well, they are dominant so far in this game. And here is Caroline Graham Hansen. Forced back to camera. Alexandri steps up well. Back to camera. And now all the way back to Mape Leon. Alexandri. Putellas. It's going to look to put it into the box. Not a bad ball. Brought down by Pina. Then cleared away. Kept alive now by Eva Payor. Brugt. Pina. Beats her marker. Puts it across the box towards the back post. Hansen will get there. Drops to Putellas, who attempts the audacious. And it bounces just wide. But you don't mind Alexa Putellas trying something like that in that position. Lovely overhead kick. Just dipping wide of the mark. Almost a spectacular opener in this game.
Yeah, again, really good move down the left-hand side with Pina. It's not a bad ball in. Forward to Putellas nicely. She fancied herself to find the back of the net with that overhead kick attempt. Vicky Lopez couldn't flick it on either. And it just whistled past the post. But Barcelona are getting closer and closer, you feel, to that first goal.
Yeah. Pass down the line. Davidson. Almeida, now Lund lifting it in behind. Martin Prieto has an opportunity here. Alexandri caught out. And I don't know what's happened there. Disney Plus seeming to freeze at the worst opportunity there as that ball went in behind. And so not sure. Looks to be an issue on Disney's end. So we'll never know if Martin Prieto scored there. Oh, and she hasn't, because Barcelona are coming the other way. Ball through, now looking for Hansen, who takes aim, but it's over the bar. Drives a lot of power, a lot of conviction through that shot, but couldn't quite keep it under the crossbar.
Yeah, did well. Caught it nicely, but just lacked a little bit of control. Flicked up for her. But yeah, just got over it. Got under it, sorry. And just drilled it well, but drilled it over the bar. Just needed to be a little bit calmer in that situation and look to keep it down.
Uchebe tries to play it forwards, trying to find Gaspar. One back in there well by Barcelona, but given away by Hansen. Not been Caroline Graham Hansen's tidiest performance, I have to say. A lot of discussion around her performances of late, especially after what was a particularly disappointing Euros for Norway as a whole, but also for Hansen on a personal level. And yes, seemingly bleeding over into club football as well. Sarah Yorde. Now Leon. Out wide into Brugt. What can she make happen? Ball into the box. Drops now for Payor, who tries to head it on. Uchebe, though, managing to get it in front of it and clears it away.
Yeah, Benfica, I think the box defending has been pretty good. Of course, they've had moments where they have got away with it, but you have to, right, you like in these kind of games when you're playing against sides like Barcelona. If you are going to get anything out of the match, you know you're going to have to rely on getting the rub of the green. But I think there have also been moments where they have been pretty good at making that first contact from corners and crosses.
Pulling from Leon. Amado gets in front of it. Putellas now lifts it over the top. Carol Costa will clear it away, and Martin Prieto can put pressure on this ball. Tries to head it on and give herself something to chase, but didn't quite get enough power behind that. And it's back in possession of Barcelona. Pina. Nice work in the pocket. Back to Lopez. Sarah Yorde. Now Pina touches onto Putellas. One back in there well by Benfica, and it's cleared away emphatically by Costa. Leon. Head to Putellas, trying to pull the strings here. Alexia Putellas. And her shot considerably wide there from Alexia Putellas. Not sure what went wrong for Putellas there. As she went to strike it, just couldn't quite meet the target. So Benfica building out from the back. Powell's looks to go direct to the left-hand side. Davidson gets the flick on. And that's out now for a Barcelona throw-in. Camera. Now Serayorde. Alexandri. Here's Mappy Leon. Out to the right-hand side. Great pass into Hansen, who brings it down well. Lopez. Hansen. Inside to Payor. Now Hansen. Pass wide into Pina, into the area, looking for Payor, and it's cleared away well. Chance now in over the top. Martin Prieto competing with Leo Alexandri. That's seen out well for a Benfica throw-in. Mia says, who's the Alexandri you keep talking about? Yes, she is a Barcelona player, joined from Manchester City in the summer.
Yeah, I think the one thing that will be frustrating Benfica at the moment, though as I say it, she's doing really well at holding up the ball, but Martin Prieto hasn't really been able to make the ball stick. They've only had, 28% of the ball. I think they'd like to have a bit more of that.
Ball in behind now, and it's a goal getting from Powell to come off her line quickly. That's going to drop in there for Camera. I think especially when you are a utility forward and your sole purpose in this game is to hold the ball up. When it's not happening, you're struggling. Good save there again from Powell as Barcelona find Hansen in a good area. And her shot glanced away, really, by Powell's. I think as well, Gretchen makes a good point. Benfica need a forward with some pace. Lucia Alves can be that, but they've just not really got her in attacking areas yet. Obviously a lot more of a defensive role needed in a game like this. And this will be concerning for Benfica, as it is Uchebe down. She is probably the most important player, especially in a game like tonight.
Yeah, there was no contact.
Oh, that is not nice on the ankle.
But yeah, she's been absolutely brilliant tonight. As being that kind of first point of call for getting out there, dealing with crosses, dealing with opportunities.
That's a concerning one. You can see that the way that she goes down there, she just seems to twist her ankle as she goes down. Hopefully, nothing too serious, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is the end of her game. That's a big loss for Benfica. Christy Uchebe, really important part of that Benfica backline.
Yeah, and Benfica have done well across the board. As you say, Uchebe has been a big part of that, but across the board it has been good from Benfica. Although that is much more encouraging because that is a thumbs up from the physio, and Uchebe does look to be getting back to her feet. Potentially not too bad then. That's really important. 7 defensive contributions in the first 24 minutes here from Uchebe. That's quite a lot.
I know they're going to have to be incredibly defensive, but that is still monstrous so far.
Yeah, really good performance. Good to see that she'll be all right to continue. Yeah, 25 minutes played, and Benfica have had to weather a storm, ride their luck a little bit, but they haven't conceded yet, and that is what matters. Scoreline is the main thing in football, and currently it is still 0-0. Of course, a long way to go, and we expect Barcelona to keep dominating the game in the way they are at the moment, but it's been a positive start to this match for the away side.
Yeah, ball into the box, headed away by Lund. I think especially, you say performance is the result was the most important thing, but I actually think for Benfica at this rate, the performance is really important. Result means very little now. They can't get through. So, result is it's almost inevitable it's going to be a Barcelona win, but they've given a really good account of themselves so far defensively. It will now be whether Benfica can actually get that ball forward. So they're looking to do now. Davidson can't quite keep that under her control. And Beatriz in there. Does well to compete for the ball. And once again, Disney Plus is struggling. But yeah. It's been scrappy midfield. I think that's exactly what Benfica want it to be. But they haven't really been able to get on the ball at all so far tonight, Benfica. And it's quite difficult to create much if you can't really get on the ball. When they have, Barcelona have shown that intensity, have been able to put pressure on Benfica. And ESPN experiencing technical difficulties, which is not great.
Yeah, they had a weird night of it. They had a couple of moments like that. I think
Yeah.
someone is clearly pressing the wrong buttons in the ESPN
Someone
studio.
sat on
Yeah.
the controls. They had this not too long. I mean, in the last game Barcelona played when they
Yeah.
were away at Chelsea, that game had to be delayed due to technical difficulties with the broadcast, which is unconventional. So apologies. Right now, we don't have a lot to go off. Pinkish Floyd says to me it has to be goal until the 30th minute. Or before the 30th minute for Barcelona. Well, it might be difficult now. I don't know if the game has been suspended due to these technical difficulties for the broadcast, but we are back underway now. It's the 28th minute. And Benfica playing out from the back. So we haven't missed a goal. But yeah, Barcelona want to score as quickly as possible, as you say that, Floyd. One heart the pitch here by Barcelona. Lopez trying to knock it down the line. Uchebe does well to get back in there.
Yeah, we've seen it in other games this season where the longer it remains 0-0, the more encouragement the weaker side will gain. So the longer that Benfica can hold Barcelona at a deadlock, the more that that motivation, that intensity will rise for them as they believe more and more they can get results.
Top heart the pitch. Chance now. Putas bearing in on goal. Shifts it to Payor, who takes aim, and it was coming for Barcelona, and it's there for Barcelona. Well won high at the pitch by Alexa Putas, shifts it into Eva Payor, who opens up the body well and unleashes a strike across goal. Barcelona 1, Benfica 0. And it's just sloppy playing out from the back there from Benfica.
Yeah, it's the first big error of the evening. They've done well to clear their lines and be cutthroat in possession, but this time I really have no clue why they're trying to dribble out of their own penalty area. This was never going to work. From Alves, I think it is, dribbles out and then tries to play a pass, which is picked off by Putellas, who finds Payor, times to run well, and it's a really tidy finish, and Barcelona finally make all the pressure count, and they break the deadlock, and that's a big goal, an important goal, to give themselves a reward for what has been a very, very strong first half an hour.
Yeah, absolutely. That goal was definitely coming. Barcelona with 13 shots to none. 78% of the ball so far. 5 big chances. And at the fifth chance they've created, the fifth big chance they created, Eva Payor finding her 4th goal of the competition.
And it just shows how ruthless and relentless they are. You make one error and they are right there to punish you.
Yeah, absolutely. Brooks knocks it down the line. Payor again now, who's got a taste for goals in this game. Looking to be the creator on this occasion, but a cutback is cut out by Davidson, and Benfica will look to play out one high by Pina. But Benfica do win it back. Davidson shifts it inside. And Beatrice just backed out of that one a little. Always looked like she didn't feel comfortable challenging for it, and Barcelona recover possession. Putellas drives inside, looking for Lopez, unlucky not to find a great interception from Carol Costa. And here is Alexandri slipping it into Cameron, makes the run into the penalty area. Uchebe on hand though to stop her in her tracks. Now they'll try and play out Benfica, and that's blocked there by Caroline Graham-Hansen, stopping Benfica from playing it down the line.
Yeah, reaction now is very important for Benfica. Uchebe there, walking gingerly, does not look comfortable. So we may see a change coming. We've already seen her go down. Does not look happy with that left knee. But reaction needed now from Benfica. They cannot afford to just slip away and allow Barcelona to run riot. They've got to dig in now and keep fighting away and keep battling to make sure this game doesn't get out of hand.
Yeah, absolutely. And now Barcelona building out from the back again. Alexandri. Camera. That's fantastic from Lopez. Lets it run through her legs into Hansen. Back to Lopez. Lovely combination. Ball into the box. And Pina can't quite meet it on the edge as Amado is on hand to smash it clear. That, though, a lovely passing exchange from Barcelona. Really tidy football. Camera. Throws it into Hansen. Back to Camera. Alexandri, strong challenge in there. Drops a Vicky Lopez. And that is tidy footwork, but not a great pass. That's how to play for Benfica throwing. Lund. Into Martin Prieto, dropping deep to receive the ball. Loses out in the physical contest. And it's back all the way now to Catalina Coll. Leon. Carrying it forwards. Now out to the left-hand side. Here's Esme Brugt. Puteas. Brugt. Inside to Sarayode. Brugt. And that from Sarayode into Beatriz, and that will be out for a Barcelona corner.
Yeah, Barcelona sensing the opportunity, keeping the pressure on and looking for a second goal. And you feel that if they do manage to find another goal, that would put them in a very comfortable position and probably put them out of sight. It's important now for Benfica that they get to the break only a goal down, but that's still 12 minutes away.
So, ball now delivered in towards the back post. Header across goal, bouncing around. Going to drop there for Pina, who can't quite aim it goalwards. Another opportunity for Barcelona goes begging. Good delivery from Caroline. Graham Hansen. Brooks heads across the box. And it's a little bit of a scrap in there on the goal mouth. And Pina can't quite catch it and send it goalwards.
Yeah, just about dealt with just by Benfica. A bit scrappy though. Probably got away with one there. Someone in a blue and red shirt probably should have poked that into the back of the net.
Hansen back now all the way to Catalina Cole.
A quiet evening for Cole so far, as expected. I'm sure she probably gets used to these quiet games every now and again.
Well, almost every week, to be fair. Here is Hansen. And that's a good header away from Uchebe. One of those where it is more of a surprise that she has to make a save than if she doesn't. But I think Benfica will be happy with how they've managed to defend early on. The goal felt inevitable, of course, but still more of a steely resolve than some sides have put up against Barcelona. Hansen. Now Puteas. Trying to make something happen here. Lifts it to Mape Leon, who takes aim from range. And that is a really good stop there from Powers, who smothers the shot effectively.
Yeah, good evening so far for Powers. Although she's conceded, has made some really, really superb stops. This one a bit more of a simple save, but still had to be made. Did well to clutch onto it. Didn't need to parry that. Did well to grab hold of it. But yeah, a good evening so far for the Benfica goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Who is doing well to withstand a lot of pressure.
Amado goes down the line. Alves can't quite get there. So it's back in possession of Barcelona, whose stranglehold on the ball has loosened somewhat, down to just 69% possession. Puteas. Brooks tries to squeeze back the pass. Sarayorde does well there to get to the ball. Pina will be forced backwards. Alexandri knocks it wide into Hansen. Wants to run at Chandra Davidson. Pass inside now to Lopez, back to Hansen. And Uchebe does well, and Carol Costa panics a little there. Despite a goalkeeper coming out confidently, knocks out for a goal, for a corner, sorry.
Yeah, a bit of miscommunication there. Whether there was a shout from the goalkeeper or not, we'll never know. But realistically, Costa there should just let that run through to a keeper who could have taken the ball in a grasp and just taken all the pressure off. Instead, Benfica have now got to withstand another corner.
Yeah. Indeed. And so it's now Leon over this. Again, it'll be aimed towards the back post. Brooks unmarked and can't find the target with a header. Probably should have done better there, Esme Brooks.
Yeah, just tried to head it down into the ground and bounced up and bounced wide. But probably needs to be more of an arrowed header towards goal. Kind of just hits her on the forehead and goes directly down. But yeah, unmarked.
I'm not sure she needed to head it down.
No, just unmarked. Needed to probably should have punished there.
Uchebe, lovely turning there from Almeida. Squeezes the pass out wide into Davidson. Now Lund will go down the line. Martin Prieto can't hold on to that one. As Alexandri steps up well. Payor can't keep it in her grasp. And now Powell's out to the right-hand side. Amado, space to drive into here for the right back. Carries it forward confidently and takes it past Puteas. He made very little effort to try and win that back. Costa. Alves. No pocket of space here for Benfica. Slipped in behind. And it's an opportunity now as she rounds Catacol. Can she squeeze it back with a shot? It's into the side netting. A great opportunity there for the visitors, but Gaspar unable to find the target. Barca caught out. It's a brilliant ball from Alves, who just knocks it in behind. Barca caught out. Gaspar rounds Catacol. And she should do a lot better there, the Benfica player. Catacol caught out. Should have been punished.
What a chance from absolutely nothing. A huge opportunity to level this game for Benfica. Yeah, Barcelona just seemed to switch off, and Benfica, with a brilliant threaded ball through, had to score that. Did the hard part of rounding Catacol. All she had to do was pass it into the goal, and yes, it was a tight angle, but still, should have done better.
You don't get many opportunities like that against Barcelona.
No, that's a big chance. But yeah, what an opportunity for Benfica to level this game. That was their first shot of the game as well, I believe.
Pina caught there, unfortunate, a little awkwardly, by Amado. Does seem to be all right. And Barca drop ball. Alexandri, lay on. Yeah, big opportunity there. Goes begging for Benfica.
Yeah, and it's opposition like Barcelona. Sometimes all you do is all you get is one chance, and you have to take it. But Benfica couldn't find the target from that.
Camera back into Lopez. Lopez out wide to Camera. Tries to shift it down the line. Blocked well though by Lund. Camera into Lopez. Alexandri. Now Leon. Plays it wide. Now Puteas in the pocket. Sarayorde. Pina. Brooks holding the width well. Pass inside to Payor, trying to make the run off the shoulder in there. And Martin Prieto flicks on to Davidson. He'll try and push that forward into space, but gets that massively wrong. And it's out for a Barcelona throw-in on this near side.
As we said, really good reaction from Benfica to going a goal down. They had to ride a bit of a storm, but they've done well to kind of respond and actually gain a little bit of control in this game. Martin Prieto trying to break away there, and he's pulled back by Pina, and the referee would like a little chat with the Barcelona forward.
Yeah. I mean, I think she'd be a little fortunate to avoid a yellow card. It's not too egregious, but
no,
she makes no attempt to play the ball and directly stops the counter-attack.
Yeah.
Ball out towards the right-hand side. Headed on there, though, not convincingly by Alves. One back up the pitch here by Amado, headed away by Mapi Leon. And now they'll look to break away, and it's Eva Payor, who should shift this to Pina, but doesn't. Holds on to the ball. I'm not sure why. And loses possession. Beatrice. Great try forwards here from the midfielder. Tries to play it in behind. Camera, though, with some good defending to get in front of it. Hansen back to Camera. OT asking what channel are you watching on? It's on Disney Plus, exclusively on Disney Plus, the Women's Champions League this year. And I believe it's a long-term deal. I can't remember when to exactly. But yeah, exclusively on Disney Plus. But if you subscribe today, we'll be one step closer to being able to buy the rights. And then we'll make it more affordable. It's Camera. Cross now to Puteas. Pina into Lopez out wide. Into Hansen now. Great delivery, Uchebe, though. Does well to stop the ball into the box out for a Barcelona corner.
Yeah, better from Barcelona. They've had a bit of a wobble in the last 5 minutes. I think that chance for Benfica kind of spooked them a little bit and gave Benfica a bit of encouragement to come forwards. But Barcelona will hope to end this half with a bang. If they can get another goal, just to kind of kill off any Benfica hope of turning it around, that would be big.
Yeah, absolutely. Corner now for Barcelona. Taken short. Here's Mappy Leon in towards the box, and that's headed away well. Going to drop for Lopez. Leon. Lopez. And they're trying too desperately to win back the ball. Amado, which is understandable given that she's been dragged miles out of position, but does commit the foul. Congratulations in the US, it's Paramount Plus. Okay, thank you. Paramount Plus if you're in the US. Other than that, Disney Plus across the rest of the world. And so, now in the hands of Powell's. It's going to look to kick it long. Doesn't catch it brilliantly, but it has got a bit of distance on it, to be fair. One back well, though, by Barca. Lopez trying to touch it forward to Uchebe. Super assertive on Payor. And now slipped in behind. Opportunity now for Benfica. But it is Alexandra who'll get back in there. And now Catalina Coll. One heart the pitch here by Beatriz. Turned over, though, by Alexandri. And again, Disney Plus having yet more issues with tonight's broadcast. We can only hope that it won't continue.
Yeah, they really don't like Barcelona, do they, Disney Plus?
No. They're probably letting us know in India it's on fan code. Okay, so there's a couple different channels showing it. I was wrong to say it's worldwide. But for many places, it's on Disney Plus. I think for all of Europe. Oh, I think that's what it is, actually, to be fair. Camera. Now, Hansen slips it in behind. Camera looking for the cutback. Chance now for Claudia Pina. And it's going to drop to Puteas, who takes aim, but aims it wide of the mark. Unable there to test the Benfica goalkeeper. And as we hit 45 minutes, how much longer we have in this first half? I'm not sure just yet. It's going to be 2 minutes of additional time in this first half. Which, to be fair, I think was just Uchebe going down injured.
Yeah.
So, deep now with Powell's looking to send it long. Drops in there to be contested aerially. Davidson now looking to turn camera. Slips it in behind, looking for Gaspar. But it's going to be Leon who gets there. And now back to Cole. Not a great pass. Martin Prieto putting Alexandri in trouble. But that's brilliant from Leo Alexandri to poke it forwards. And Barca, one touch, two touch passing, exchanging on the right-hand side. Here's Lopez. Twists and turns well. Now carrying it forwards. Has options to her left and right. Looking now either side. Shifts it into Pina, who's got loads of time. Takes her time. And it hits the crossbar. Cuts inside dangerously. But it cannons off the crossbar. Great move from Barcelona there. Drew Benfica in excellently. Lopez delayed effectively. And Pina unlucky not to find a goal in this game. That's twice now she's had a shot denied by the bar.
Yeah, really good football from the home side. Superb move. And when they come at Benfica with that kind of pace, it is very difficult to withstand. And as you say, Claudia Pina could have easily had a hatful in this game already. But alas, it is still only a 1-goal lead for Barcelona.
Puteas. Payor. Wide into Claudia Pina. Shimmies inside. Good challenge in there from Alves. Man, it drops now for Serayorde. Lopez. Hansen. Comes inside. Takes aim. And it's pushed onto the bar. Really good stop there from Powell's to deny Hansen. As Barca here putting more pressure on, and that will be the half-time whistle here at the Estadio Johan Cruyff. It's Barcelona 1, Benfica 0, but that fails to tell the full story from that first half. Barcelona being the dominant force and should probably have a couple goals at least by now.
Yeah, a really good half from Barcelona, looking to all but confirm that top 4 finish. And I tell you what, they should be a lot more comfortable in this game than they really are. That crossbar has done quite a lot of work for Benfica this evening with some big stops. Also, Power stepping up with some superb saves. But Payol's goal is the difference at the break. But realistically, it's the kind of game that could have been 3 or 4-0 after 45 minutes. Some really big opportunities for Barcelona being squandered. And because of that only being a goal margin, Benfica have only had one shot. But what an opportunity that was to level the game. That was missed. Open goal. Managed around Catacol, but Gaspar couldn't put it in the goal. So a really funny game that could be 4-0. Could have even been 1-1. If that had gone in. But
I think that's the thing. It's why it's so, that chance was such a big opportunity for Benfica. It's because you don't get many chances like that.
No.
Against Barcelona, where you're in a situation where Barcelona have been in clinical, 20 shots, only 6 on target, 5 big chances, only 1 converted. Barca have been a bit wasteful in the final third. They're not quite finding the perfect shots. Of course, some brilliant saves from Powell's as well to deny a handful of Barcelona players. So, I think that chance of Benfica, though, such a big opportunity to draw level. Can't believe Gaspar missed that, slipped in behind excellently. Catacol came out and, it was fairly poor from the goalkeeper. And Gaspar should have punished, really. Ran the keeper well, should have finished it off. But outside of that, it's been one-way traffic. Barcelona have dominated the ball, 76% possession, 20 shots to 1, 6 on target to none. 5 big chances created to just that one opportunity for Benfica. So, an unfamiliar tale really for Barcelona, where they've been absolutely in control, but haven't really been able to capitalise on it.
Yeah, I think, as you say, Barcelona are a side that usually are very, very clinical. The quality they've got on the pitch, they are very good at this, keeping the scoreline accurately representing the manner of the game. And usually we've got to this point in Champions League ties or even their domestic games, and they would be 3 or 4 up by now. But in this game, it has been a bit wasteful. Obviously, a bit unlucky with the effort as it hit the crossbar, and you've got to give Powers a lot of credit for the saves that she has made. But nevertheless, Barcelona should have scored more than one in this game and should be in control of this tie, both on the pitch and on the scoreline. Yes, they are dictating the tempo, and they are bossing it on the grass. But currently, on the score sheet, it is only a 1-goal margin, and that is something that Pierre-Romier will hope his side can rectify in the second half. But it's one of those where it's very much when, not if. For that second goal, the goal is coming. They will score more tonight if they keep playing the way they are. It will just be whether Benfica can pull off something miraculous in the second half that may stop that from happening.
By the way, big moment in the game between Paris FC and Vålerenga. 2 sides teetering on the edge of qualification. There's a red card for Vålerenga striker Karina Savic right on the stroke of half-time, 48th minute. Not sure what's happened there, but it's a straight red card. A decision advised by the video assistant referee there. So, given a yellow card on field, upgrade to a red by VAR. So, not sure what's happened there, but a big moment in that game and a big blow to Vålerenga's chances there. A win would have put them onto 7 points, and would have put them into the knockout playoff round. As it stands, they would sit still 13th. With an opportunity going into the final game. But what a big game that is. And what a red card. What a terrible time to get a red card for Karina Savic.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of hard work for the rest of our teammates now. But we have already seen that sometimes having less players on the pitch doesn't affect your performance. Barcelona's rivals, Real Madrid, getting the job done last night with only 9 players on the pitch towards the end of the game.
Yeah, I was going to say, somewhat disingenuous 9-man Real Madrid. 9-player Real Madrid beat Wolfsburg. But for most of the game, they did have 10 players.
They did very. I thought they did very, very well, even with 10 players, and then saw it out at the end with 2 players less. But they got the job done, and they're confirmed through to the knockout playoff round. Barcelona will be hoping to join them, and those 2 flying the flag for Spain. To be fair, Atletico Madrid are also doing a very good job. So Spanish sides in the Champions League this season have had a real good time of it so far, and if all 3 of them can get through to the knockouts, even if it is Barcelona through to the quarterfinals and both Madrid clubs through to the knockout playoff round. And overall, for the Liga F and for the domestic, game, that's a really promising sign for those three big clubs.
Yeah, I think what we have seen though is what we've known already is that in the case of Real and Atleti, they are fine against the weaker opposition, but have been absolutely woeful against. You look at Real Madrid. I mean, the Wolfsburg game is an exception. I thought that was a really. I didn't see the game, obviously, but that's a huge result against the top side. But Real's fixtures have been kind in this competition. And as for Atleti, well, they smashed Twente and Polton, but they lost to both United and Juve, and they haven't played either of their pot one sides yet. They play about Bayern tonight, and they play Leones next week.
That was a big test.
I think, yeah. I mean, I'd expect them to lose both of those games, but we'll have to see. Maybe they'll give a better account of themselves. But Atleti are on that edge of qualification. If there is to be a decisive goal either way in Paris FC, Volareña, it would put them in an even more precarious position. Obviously, they do play like tonight against Bayern, but that is going to be a very tough match. As for Barcelona in this game, though, taking control, they're top of the Champions League now with 13 points. As it stands, that would see them into the automatic quarter-final spots, which is exactly where Barcelona want to be with their squad in the state it is. They can't really afford that extra 2 games in February.
Yeah, exactly that. And of course, yeah, as you say, you don't want to put yourself in that jeopardy. You don't want to have to play more games. You don't want to have to, have more of a risk of getting knocked out and there being a surprise package in there. So just get the job done. Make sure you're into the quarterfinals and they can they can worry about that when they come around. But I think tonight also presents a good opportunity, but also a needed opportunity to win. Chelsea hosting Roma, you'd expect them to win that. Leones have got a difficult game against Man United, so maybe that's an opportunity as well for Barcelona to, tonight presents another chance for Barcelona to maybe gain some more over Leones, depending on that result later on tonight. But yeah, a win for Barcelona tonight is important, and it should see them through. But yeah, we've spoken about this match week being the decisive one, and it's proving to be. Of course, there will still be a lot to play for going into the last match week, but Barcelona are one of those teams that potentially will have nothing to play for if they get the job done tonight, which I would be very surprised if they didn't hold on to this lead in the second 45.
Yeah, just a statistic, by the way, Benfica haven't won a Champions League match, or a Champions League phase match since the 13th of December 2023. So failure to win tonight would extend that poor run to over 2 years.
Yeah, it's one of those for Benfica where it's a really hard place to judge it, because although they've done really well to get to qualify for the last 2 tournaments, to turn up and not win a single game, you're not representing yourself in the best light. I think tonight has been one of their best performances of this group stage. I think they've been really solid. Of course, they have had to ride their luck a bit, and on another day, Barcelona could be in complete control of this tie, and they could have scored 4 goals, but they've done well to in and around that to see them out, and again, some big saves, some big blocks, some great contributions in their own penalty area from the likes of Echebe have done enough to just limit Barcelona to 1 in the first half. But you feel that if Barcelona start hard and fast in the second half, they could really run away with it. And get a couple goals, put themselves out of sight, and then be able to control it. So Benfica have got to come out and have got to keep at the standard that they were playing in that first half.
I think the problem for Benfica is, where did the goals come from? Because you look at their competition so far, they've scored 2 goals in 4 games. That includes both their pot 3 matchups against Twente and Paris FC. They didn't score against Paris FC. They got 1 and a 1-0 draw against FC Twente. 1 goal for Martin Preto, 1 goal for Lucia Alves. But they're a really decent defensive side. Defensive unit. I just don't know where the goals come from. I don't think their attack is particularly strong. And that has been a problem for them throughout this competition. You think back to that game against Juventus on the opening night. I didn't think Benfica were too bad, but they never took their opportunities, and that left them vulnerable to be punished at the death. And they were, I think they were a bit unlucky there. I didn't think they were too bad against Arsenal either. You'd expect them to go into those games against the pot 3 opposition and look quite good. But yeah, a draw with Twente and a loss to Paris FC, not great, and that leaves them with 1 point to their name with Barcelona tonight and then PSG next week, who, to be fair, are yet to... Well, they got 1 point and they drew with Leuven last night. but they're also already knocked out of the competition.
That could be a great game to watch. I'm not
I don't
PSG
think it will
Benfica.
be. I think it'll be 0-0. Neither of them can score.
That is very true, but yeah, it's just goals win games at the end of the day, and if you don't score, you're going to find it very hard to compete at this kind of level and to be, to take on the best of the best in the world. And they've done well tonight, but as you say, as soon as you concede, they can't then equalise because they don't score goals and they're already out of the game. So it's a really difficult one. I don't think Martin Prieto has been great. I'll be honest. I feel like she's on there to be that hold up physical striker, and I don't think she's held the ball up once. Whereas they are getting opportunities in behind. So I think it will make a lot more sense to have a quicker forward on there who can make that run beyond and look to get play on the shoulder of the defender and get in over the top.
Yeah, absolutely. Barcelona strong position though. They need a point in the last game to guarantee all results for them to go their way this evening, for them to guarantee a place in that quarter-final stage, which, as we said, is exactly where they want to be. Mio says, me and my owners are listening. I'm watching this at my shop. Love that. Mio, thank you for tuning in. Glad you're enjoying the commentary. And at the moment, 91% of chat, 292 votes. Thanks to everyone that has voted in that. 91% going for Barcelona, 8% Benfica, 1% going for a draw.
I feel like that has actually got down. So maybe
it was 93%. So
some more people believing in Benfica.
I mean, after that first half, were they good defensively? Maybe they're believing a little bit more. And if you are new to the channel and haven't yet hit that subscribe button, make sure to do so as we prepare for the second half. We're nearing in on 7,000 subscribers. Every subscriber does help us. We have a very ambitious goal of hitting 7,000 this week. So if you want to help towards that, hit that subscribe button for more Champions League and general women's football content. Got a lot of streams coming up over the next few days, including after this game. We've got Champions League 8 o'clock kickoffs. We'll be live as OL Lyonnais take on Manchester United. A huge game, especially in the context of Barcelona and that top four battle. If that is a draw, it practically guarantees Barcelona's top four finish.
Yeah, it's a nice position to be in when you have the early kickoff and you win. So obviously, if you have the early kickoff and you lose, then you have to sit there and watch as all your rivals potentially gain on you. But if Barcelona get the job done, they can sit back, relax, put the TV on, watch the 8 o'clock kickoffs, and hopefully the results will go in their way, will go in their favour, and they can confirm their qualification tonight. But yeah, it's always good when you play first and win. You put the pressure onto your opposition. So Lyonnais, they'll see this result, they'll know that if Barcelona win, they're also going to need to win. So yeah, if they can put that pressure onto Lyonnais to go to Manchester United and get a result, which is a very difficult thing to do, then that will be that will help all the while for Barcelona, who in this second half should really come out, play with that same aggression, play with that same fire, and look to grab a couple of goals in this game to make it look more convincing.
Chelsea team news, by the way, 6 changes for Sonia Bonpastor's Chelsea team from the side who lost to Everton at the weekend. In goal, Olivia Peng, a back four of Lucy Bronze, captain Millie Bright, Viola Berman and Neve Charles, middle three of Walsh, Captain and Kat Macario, Carnreid on the right, Baltimore on the left, Sam Kerr leads the line. Lots of changes there for Chelsea, understandable after a drop of points at the weekend. What was a frustrating defeat against Everton, looking to return to winning ways tonight as they take on the winless in the Champions League, Roma.
Yeah, Roma have really not had the campaign they were hoping for. Of course, I'm sure there'll be a lot of Barcelona fans hoping that Roma can do a job there at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea and help the Spanish side out, but it feels like it would be a long shot for the Italians to get anything from that game.
Yeah, probably, but Twente have already done their part, to be fair, to slow Chelsea down. That draw in the opening match week, and both sets of players here at the Estadio Johan Cruyff taking back to the field for this second half. Jagaban says Benfica will win.
Wow.
Well, that is a bold prediction, joining just 8% of people in the live chat who are backing Benfica to win this evening. But welcome to the stream. Let's see if that's going to happen.
Well, we have 22 players, but no match officials.
Or match ball, so difficult to play game football without those two things.
Yeah, that's great. I've never seen it before where both sides are ready to go, but the refs aren't ready.
Yeah, the ref's done the bell, but doesn't have Doesn't come out themselves.
No.
So there we go. Both sets of players will be made to wait and, well, try and keep warm. But they do look cold as they're waiting to play there. Camero and Martin Prieto trying just to run around as much as possible and stay warm. Well, it's because Alexia Puteas, the referee, are engaging in a discussion in the tunnel. Perhaps Puteas went looking for the referee.
Yeah, we're ready to play.
Who is still here, delaying proceedings. Reckon one of the linos need to go to the loo.
Maybe, yeah, maybe. We still haven't got any linos, we've just got a ref. Which isn't very helpful.
Lino's still in the toilet.
Yeah.
But yeah, referee does now return to the field. And hopefully we'll get underway shortly. Still waiting for a lino, I believe, on the far side.
Yeah.
And here we go.
Any time today, no rush.
This is
I'm just going to go check the net first.
premier competition
Oh,
of European women's football, and the officials sharp late for the
there
second
are
half.
thousands of people waiting for that one liner to get in the position, and she's walking around.
Checking holes in the nets. But we can now get back underway. It's not back by Martin Prieto for another 45 minutes of football here at the Estadio Johan Cruyff. Barcelona leading by 1-0 in this Matchday 5 Champions League fixture. And so Benfica with a throw-in on this near side. Amado thrown in, headed on by Martin Prieto, lifted wide well by Beatriz. Now a ball into the box, not a bad delivery, headed on by Mapaleon. Shots now converted by Benfica, and they found an equaliser early in the second half. Kept alive brilliantly at the back post and finished off by Chandra Davidson. And Benfica stun Barca. A big leveller in the first 30 seconds of the second half here.
Wow. Wow, I mean, who saw this coming from absolutely nothing? Benfica have come out of the blocks with incredible speed. It's a great ball into the edge of the area. Mapelon doesn't deal with it. It's cut back brilliantly, and Davidson times the run well and finishes into an empty net.
Yeah, it's played by Mapeleon, and it would have been onside anyway for Gaspar, who cuts it back. And Davidson's there to finish it off. Leon has to do a lot better there.
Wow.
Big mistake from Mapeleon, and Barcelona will pay for it.
And we spoke about this being a problem for all the chances they had in the first half. Barcelona didn't find a second goal, and it has cost them now.
And UEFA here looking for a reason to disallow it. But I'm not sure on what grounds they could. That seemed a very well-constructed goal. H says, well, maybe we have a game. Well, indeed, we might. And
Yeah, it's going to stand.
Tumblablo says, didn't expect that. No, not at all, and it will stand. Barcelona 1, Benfica 1 in this game then. And Barcelona now coming forward with a newfound vengeance. Hansen trying to go down the right-hand side. Not done to play well by Lund. Hansen wants to take the throw quickly.
Wow, I did not see that coming. Speaking at half-time about as if this game was a formality and was already finished, but Benfica had other ideas.
Bills Duck letting us know, by the way, about the red card in the game between Voloregna and Paris FC. It was an unintentional elbow, didn't look intentional at least, but a rather clumsy challenge from Karina Savic. Nice move here for Barcelona. Lopez lets fly, but too much lift on that one as it floats over the crossbar.
Yeah, another effort wide off the mark from Lopez. Better football though from Barcelona. Once again moving it quickly. Payor and Lopez linking up on the edge of the area. But a bit of a flow to that from Vicky Lopez. Didn't quite make any meaningful contact with it.
No.
Yeah, Barcelona need to react then and need to try and reinstate their advantage. That ball has been played through again. Leon does deal with it. What is Kathleen Nicole doing though?
Chance now for Benfica, blocked well by Leon, still alive here as Gaspar drives it forward. Chance now, should finish. Oh, wide of the mark. Big opportunity there for Lucia Alves. And Benfica should be leading here. But what are Barcelona doing in this second half?
Absolute carnage at the back.
Ball in behind Leon, and Cole has come out uncharacteristically stupidly. Leon can't deal. Alexandri caught in a fluster, and Alves should tuck that past Katakal with no issue. But it's wide of the mark. And this second half has been one-way traffic.
This is crazy.
But in the other direction, it's Benfica with the chances, but they can't capitalise.
No idea what Katakol was thinking. Leon had dealt with it fine. Then she did then lose the ball after that, but it would have been fine if the goalkeeper was on her line. And
I think she saw her goalkeeper run past her.
Yeah, absolutely crazy.
It said should be 2-1. Horrific finishing. Absolutely, Lucia Alves. One of those where she wanted it to be as close to the post as possible, but ends up putting it wide of the mark.
Football is a crazy game.
Here come Barcelona. Lopez into Putellas. Lopez again, wide now to Hansen, who that's a lovely drop of the shoulder and a dart inside. Now though, twisting and overplaying there from Caroline Graham Hansen. Came inside dangerously. Don't know why she decided to turn around.
Yeah, got that one wrong. Look, as you say, kind of thwarted herself almost there.
She'd done the hard work. She'd beaten the defender and then decided to go back on herself.
Yeah. But I tell you what, at the end of the first half, it should have been 4-0 Barcelona. In the first 5 minutes of the second half, it should be 2-1 Benfica. Crazy stuff here. Barcelona, is it complacency? Is it resting on their laurels?
Ball in behind, and Alexandri under pressure. Now Cole under pressure. And that's cleared away, kept alive by Davidson. Poor there from Beatrice. And now it is Lopez who drives it away, rides one challenge well. Now looks to slot it in behind. Good ball to Payor. Uchebe across well. Thwarts the initial danger. Hansen, Lopez. Can Barca create something here? Putellas trying to wriggle her way through. Pina across the box, too close to the goalkeeper.
I did not think that in this second half, this game would become an end-to-end frenzy of who can find the back of the net. Incredible stuff from Benfica. They've gone for the game and it's rewarding them at the moment. They've caught Barcelona out. And I think, to be honest, Barcelona were probably not expecting this. They were expecting to come out in the second half and dominate the game once again. For it to probably be a bit of a walk in the park. Benfica have got other ideas.
H said this is the most open UWCL season yet. Everyone looks suspect in some way. Yeah, I mean, even though early on who've been imperious in most games, had that slip up against Juventus. They've got a tough game tonight as they take on Manchester United. Join us for that. And we'll be live just before 8 o'clock.
And even United you can't predict because they were unbeaten and they got smashed 5-2 by Wolfsburg. This format has really lended itself to some incredible results.
Tidy there from Amado. And now here's Carol Costa and Benfica. They look a different side.
Yeah.
They've come out. It's almost like the man just said, freedom now. Play our football because what can go wrong? And they are playing brilliantly. Amado across now to Uchebe. Can Benfica make this count? Well, that pass forward's cut out by Hansen. Payor has made the run offside. Hansen needs some other options, blocked wide by Christy Uchebe.
Yeah, it's unlucky for Hansen. It's poor from Payor. Not once was she onside there. I knew she'd gone early because when the ball was turned over, she was still in an offside position. But not once did she manage to get back onside there for Hansen to play the pass to her.
Absolutely, Mark Howard, welcome to the stream, celebrating a Canadian goal there as Chandra Davidson, obviously the goal scorer. Later says you're watching United over Chelsea. Hearsay. Or heresy, sorry. Not hearsay. Apologies. Unfortunately, this is a job. If not, I'd be watching Chelsea. I've been watching both, to be fair, but that's quite difficult to stream.
Yeah.
But yeah, we've got to watch the bigger game, really, which is United taking on OL Lyonnais. Here's Lopez, Alexandri, wide into Putellas. Tries to play that shot for a Uchebe. Such an unfortunate error at the back for Benfica, and that gives Barcelona the lead. Christy Uchebe, who's been absolutely excellent at the back, makes a big blunder, and that bursts Benfica's bubble. Barca 2, Benfica 1.
For all the chances that Barcelona have had in this game, for that to be the way they take the lead is just astonishing. Putellas puts a pretty poor ball into the box. Uchebe just doesn't sort her feet out, turns it towards her own goal, and it's got enough pace on it to beat her own keeper.
Just so poor.
It's a standing foot.
The body positioning is awful, and then even as it comes in, surely you read it and just knock it away.
Oh, wow.
That's clumsy from Uchebe. A real dampener. And now Benfica with an uphill battle to climb once again. This is going to be checked. Not really sure what this could be for. But there we go.
Yeah, I have no idea what they're possibly looking at.
If she's in offside position when the ball's played, but she shouldn't even touch it.
No, and Uchebe's just turned it in her own net.
Yeah. Let's pretend threw it at her and we didn't see it, but no, the goal will stand. And Benfica get us back underway. Oh dear. Uchebe. Disappointing one. Shot now from range from Davidson. Will be kept alive here. Just about. No, not a great pass. And now here's Putellas. Davidson tries to play it back to Alves. And there's offside flag up there. So that'll be Barcelona. Free kick. This is what a weird way to concede. So disappointing. 45 minutes hard work undone in 30 seconds.
Yeah. It's a shame because it's been a great game. And but if Barcelona come at them and score a superb goal, fair enough. Uchebe had a bit of a shocker there. Shouldn't have allowed Payol to get onto that ball, but recovers nicely to see her wide. Barcelona still got it though.
Yeah, here is Esme Bruggs. Takes aim. It's blocked. Uchebe, who's gone from being utterly brilliant to a little bit of a calamity at the back.
You'd think she put a Barcelona shirt on. That cross was going to sail out for a goal kick, and she just bicycle kicks it towards her own goal again.
Unfathomable, really. Uchebe, 15 defensive contributions. Was magnanimous at the back.
Stuck it in her own
and then such a clumsy own goal. Puts a damper on an otherwise excellent defensive display. Here come Benfica. Lucia Alves. Ball into the area. Catacol out to claim well.
It hasn't taken the wind, though, out of Benfica's sails. They are still pushing in this game.
That's true.
Still believing they can get something, but yeah, it's going to be... They've done really well to get one back, to pull it back in the first place. To do it again, it's going to be quite difficult.
Yeah, absolutely. Ball down the left-hand side. Here's Esme Bruggs. Amado tries to be physical, gets shrugged off. It's Claudia Pina. Now Putellas drives inside, across to Lopez, who looks to open up the space for the shot. Nice cutback, takes aim. Great stop from Powell to deny the teenager.
Another really good stop from the Benfica goalkeeper. Tidy footwork from Lopez, and she does a lot better with this one. Cuts it back, and it's controlled. Keeps it down, hits the target, and forces a good save out of the goalkeeper, who does well to parry it round the post. But again, Vicky Lopez looking dangerous as ever on the edge of the area. Barcelona keeping the pressure on, knowing that probably another goal would be enough to kill off any hope for Benfica.
Yeah, corner now for Barcelona. They have got a bit of an aerial threat towards the back post. Header will bounce around. Alexandri turns it home, and Barcelona extend their advantage. Not been a goal catalogue for the ages, but they all count the same. And there, Alexandri turns that one home. Barcelona 3, Benfica 1.
Yeah, as we were saying there, another goal for Barcelona probably would see the job through, and they get it through the corner. Bruce's initial header wasn't brilliant, bobbled around. Benfica couldn't quite clear their lines, and Alexandri does well to just swing a leg at it and poke it home. Tidy finish from the centre half. But Barcelona, for all the worldies that hit the crossbar and Putellas trying an acrobatic effort that just went past the post, for the 2 goals in this half to be an own goal and a goal prodded home from a corner is it's not quite what we were expecting.
No. Not at all, but yeah, Alexandri find the back of the net. As I say, not the most incredible goal catalogue. But Barcelona lead. And that is the important statistic. Goals. A change now for Benfica. That is Leticia Almeida coming off. Pauleta to replace her in midfield. And so they will check that goal as well. I'm not sure why we need such an obvious delay after every goal. What is the conversation here? Is
She's not offside.
Putellas, yeah. Well, there we go. Putellas in onside position blocking the line of sight at the keeper. So it's fine. He's onside.
I don't really know whether it's a newest, it's in a set of officials that haven't done too many games in the Champions League, but it feels like every single goal has taken ages to check, and again, it's been given.
Yeah, is it more likely a VAR official who hasn't used VAR much?
Potentially.
There's these processes seem to take a lot longer than they need to. Because, I mean, I know it's been a bit of a problem sometimes, VAR taking ages, but they tend to be quite quick at checking the goals. They've got time while the players celebrate.
Yeah.
Here's Hansen breaking down the right-hand side, cuts it back for Lopez, who dispatches an effort. That's blocked, though, at close range. Martin Prieto now breaking away. Waits for Davidson to make the run beyond. Here come Benfica. Davidson taking on Camara. Will be forced backwards now. Martin Prieto up in support, though. Back now to Leticia. Sorry, Pauleta. Ball in behind. Chance for Alves, who cut it back. There's Gaspar, cut it back. But actually, she hadn't looked up, hadn't realised that Alves wanted it to be a cut back. Instead, she puts it across the box.
Yeah, got to look up there, got to have a bit more awareness. Just had her head down and drilled it across the box, and a bit of hope that someone might get on the end of it, but needed to look up there and realise where her teammates actually were.
Putellas plays it forwards. One back well by Benfica. And now back with Powell's out to Amado, who will take that in a stride nicely, can carry it forwards now for the Portuguese side. Great drive from Amado. Launching the attack, Martin Prieto rides the contact well, slips it through, and that will run through to the goalkeeper.
I'd love to see the possession shift and things like that in this second half, because it's been such a different game.
Well, I can find out.
Benfica have really upped it in this second 45 minutes.
Yeah, Benfica 45% possession to Barca's 55, because in the first half was 76% to 24.
Wow.
7 shots this half for Barca to Benfica's 3. Chance now slipped through into Brooks. Should score. Delays. Takes aim. Blocked well.
Wow. Just took too long on that one. Brooks had so much time to pull the trigger, and just took way too long.
Ball out of play, and with it will come Barcelona's first change of the game. It is going to be a double substitution by the looks of it. And that is Marta Torreon and Sydney Schertenleib.
Yeah, hard enough when you're 3-1 down to Barcelona and you see these two players coming up.
I didn't know Schertenleib had the number 6. That's a not a normal one for an attacker. I know Aitana Bonmati used it for the national team. But that's going to be Marta Torreon in at right back, and it'll be Sydney Schertenleib into the base of midfield.
It's going to be a very aggressive midfield.
Yeah, I mean, it is anyway without Patrick Gallardo. I mean, Clara Sarriorde is a defensive midfielder. I believe Sydney Shetland's been playing in that deeper role a lot this season, which you can do in the Liga F.
Yeah,
Fine.
it's an interesting decision.
Ball in behind now, I think. Gone too early there. What can they make happen here? Benfica, ball cut to Gaspar, and then the offside flag will go up. Advantage played, though, I think, as Barca come away with the ball. Chance now for Alves. Takes aim just over the bar. Not bad there from Benfica.
Yeah.
Not sure what the advantage was for, because it was an offside
No,
flag.
yeah, no. Referee's got away with one there massively, because if that goes in, she's got a real problem on her hands. Because that should have been given. The flag goes up and she plays advantage because Barcelona have the ball. They immediately lose it, and then Benfica shoot. If that had gone in, that would have been a very controversial way for Barcelona to concede.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, 26 minutes to play.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with the reaction from Benfica. It's made this second half a very entertaining watch so far, because they're coming at Barcelona, they're competing, they're being aggressive. It's exactly, if there's not much on the line, which there isn't for Benfica tonight, to go for the game, it makes sense. You've got nothing to lose.
Yeah, absolutely. Leon looks to play it in behind now, and this is wild from Powell's, but she does make the challenge, and that's the important thing. Hansen now has to take on the fullback Lund, who's got back in to support. Lund is beaten. Back now for Lopez, who dances into the penalty through the penalty area and can't quite turn it goalwards as it's knocked out of play for a corner.
Yeah, 2 or 3 touches too many there for Vicky Lopez.
Probably could have gone down.
Yes, could have also done that, but the touch was brilliant. Just needed to pull the trigger. Instead, tried to shimmy through 2 bodies and just ran out of road as Powers came out to deal with her.
Wasn't really enough space in there.
No.
For what she wanted to do. Another change now for Barcelona. That's Caroline Graham Hansen. Making way. No, it's not, sorry. She's just going over to take the corner. I'm not sure why there was such focus on her. Caroline Graham Hansen still on the pitch. Looked like she was leaving the field. But there we go. Ball back in now from Leon. Chance at the back post. Puteas heads across goal. Clawed off the line. Brilliantly by Gaspar. Alves. It's a nice Trivella down the line, though no one making the run to meet it.
Yeah, really good piece of defending that. To head it off her own line from Gaspar and to keep the deficit to 2.
Yeah, the lively attacking midfielder has been involved in quite a few positive things at Benfica tonight, but hasn't been able to add a contribution. But yeah, it's one of those games. It doesn't feel like 3-1 Benfica on the merit of the second half. It's an incredibly fair result. I think they defended a lot better than that suggests. A fairly scrappy corner and an own goal have absolutely cost them here. But Barca didn't take the chances in the first half and haven't really made enough in the second half.
Yeah, it's a really weird game to judge because Benfica probably should have been 3 or 4 down at half time, but they probably shouldn't be losing in the second half. So the results are kind of flipped around.
Ball in behind from Lund. Great drive here from Gaspar, who just outpaced Marta Torreon. That's a poor pass back into the box from Alexandri. But they'll get away with it. Cole into Bruggs. Now Leon. Pina. And that is a quite blatant foul from Amado. And a stoppage here for the free kick, but also so Benfica can make a second set of changes. This will be another double change. So calm on the ball there. Catalina Cole does get that wrong sometimes, but on that occasion, no issues. Double change, and they're going for the game a bit here. Benfica, it's 2 forwards onto the field. It's going to be Lucia Alves making way. And she'll be replaced by Nicole Reisler. And it will be Anna Gaspar as well, who's been lively. To be replaced by Lara Martins.
Yeah, Benfica just shuffling the forward pack to see if they can get anything from this game now. It would take a lot, but you never know. Didn't really expect them to be in the game in the second half, so the fact they're competing will be positive for them.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think they've given a decent account of themselves. Again, same issues of not really being able to score much. You know, the amount of mistakes and sort of misunderstandings we've seen at the back for Barcelona that have gone unpunished. Lopez carrying it forwards, tries to feed it through. That's blocked. I think Vicky Lopez has looked lively, but that final ball's not really been there.
Yeah.
For Lopez, I think that decision making as well. Understandable, I mean, still an incredibly young player, but yeah, final ball lacking. And decision making in that final third has been quite poor tonight from Lopez. And that's the left hand side. Here's Pina on the touchline. Pina had some great chances in the first half. Hasn't really been involved in the second. It's all been quite central, the play for Barcelona. We've not seen much of either wide player, to be fair. Putellas darts inside. And one back way, well, by Benfica. Nowhere to go there for Reisler. Now Martins plays it in behind. That overhit, though. Now bounce through to Catacol, who has had an error-prone night.
Yeah, just some weird decision making. Has kind of has come, sprinting out of a penalty area when she hasn't really needed to, and just a couple of bizarre moments on the ball.
Yeah, twice now has ran out ridiculously far when it wasn't necessary, and well, lucky not to be punished. Shot now from range, and Catacol able to chest that down. Paoletta would have wanted to get a little bit more height on that if it was going to seriously threaten Catacol. Try and lift it over from range. Pina touched it down the left-hand side. It's deemed to have taken a nick, which is why it ends up going out of play. Brooks to Pina. Payot can't hold on to that ball. One back though by Pina. Great interception. Putellas, Pina. Darting inside. Good defending from Paoletta. And Sheraton Live now will use her frame really well, just to muscle back possession. Throw in Bruggs. Goes down the line. Putellas rides the contact well and gets away from Mardo. Ball across the box. A bit messy there. Good double save though from the Benfica goalkeeper Pauwels. Torreon keeps it alive. That was blocked. I think it was the hand. It's been given as a corner, but I think there the player knows. Chandra Davidson, that's hit a hand. And there is a good chance the VAR will have a look at this.
Yeah.
Power's now asking for a stoppage. Let's have a look. Torreon. Yeah, definitely it's the arm of Davidson. Likely to be.
Yeah. It's just the outstretched arm. I think VAR will have a look at that one. And Powell's has also got an issue. I think it's a bloody nose. Took that ball in the face.
Yeah.
And now will receive treatment. Yeah. But this is what also frustrates me. The VAR should be looking at that now. While the injury's happening, get the ref to go and deal with here we go. And they are going to have a look at it.
And I think that will probably be a penalty for Barcelona.
Yeah, Davison, the arm's up, it's out, it's blocked the ball going in. I'm not really sure how, to be honest, that hasn't been seen on field.
Yeah. I don't know what other part of her body could have blocked that. And so, while the Benfica goalkeeper Pauwels receives treatment, Barcelona may well be awarded a penalty. Referee heading over now to the monitor. And I'd be very surprised if she came up with any other explanation.
Yeah.
Then a penalty. And Barcelona here preparing a change. That is youngster Carla Julia, I believe. Referee's not going to need many looks at this.
No.
There we go. Quick decision. And that is going to be a Barcelona penalty. There we go. So, there, Chandra Davidson blocking the cross with her arm unintentionally, but of course that's still a penalty. Can't have your arm raised in a natural position like that. And so Barcelona now with a chance to extend their advantage from the spot. Alexia Putellas from 12 yards. The substitution of Carla Julia will have to wait. And this may well be Putellas' last kick of the game. Will it be a decisive one? Or can Powell's make an important save? Putellas steps up tonight from the spot. Excellent save again from Powell, who's been phenomenal this evening. And there, Red Putellas has shot all the way and saves it well.
Yeah, good stop from Powell's. Gets down to her right-hand side quickly. Really poor penalty from Putellas, who has had a bit of a difficult evening. Very straight, not much power behind it. And Powell's easily gets there and gets two hands to it. Yeah, really soft penalty that from Putellas. Should do better.
Esme Brooks, by the way, the player that's made way for Carla Julia.
Really not been a convincing second half from Barcelona. Just errors have crept in, and whether it is a complacency issue, they felt like they'd just turn up in the second half and roll Benfica over, or what, whatever it is. But yeah, it has been how we have seen quite a few errors in this half from Barcelona, both in the forward department and defensively.
That speaks volumes as well about how Barcelona view certain roles on the pitch. Carla Julia, I believe, came through as more of a midfielder, but has played a lot of minutes at left back at senior level. Barca able to sacrifice that sort of defensive side of their game, but tonight they have looked really poor defensively. I thought against Chelsea there were gaps as well. Chelsea failed to capitalise fully on that, and were very unlucky though, because Macario did score in that game and it was unfairly ruled offside. Ball in from Putellas, headed away. Shot now from Torreon, and that is blocked wide. That'll be a call out for Benfica.
Yeah, Lund swings a leg at it, makes some contact with it, and manages to knock it out just about.
Praveen says, by what margin do you see a Bayern win today? Well, Bayern taking on Atletico Madrid, I will say probably be about 3-0.
I think it'll be closer than that.
I really don't think Atleti are a good team.
Fair enough. I think they're pretty decent. So I think they'll give it a good go. I think it'll be a close game. Bayern just to nick it by a 1-goal margin, I'll say.
Yeah, each their own. I think it'll be comfortable for Bayern. I think they've looked really strong in the group stage outside of that opener against Barcelona. So here is Carla Julia. Alexandri. Julia. Now Shirton live. And what can Sydney Shirton live make happen? Gives it to Lopez. And now Pina. Dispossessed, and Benfica will look to break. And it's Martins on the ball. Tries to play it out to the right-hand side. Alexandra will get there, though. That would have been Rasula in behind. But alas, not quite able to find that ball. Picked off well. Now on the left-hand side, here come Benfica again. Martins into Martin Prieto. Pauletta. Pass forwards, that's poor from Costa, who then makes a mistake trying to mop up her error. Payor into Pina. Should take aim, delays the shot, cuts it back. And Costa sweeps up, it's out for a corner.
Again, well defended by Uche, but decision making in the final third, letting Barcelona down once again. Pina just doesn't know what to do with this one, and he's forced out. And Costa does well to get there before Payor can. But into the final 15 minutes, and Benfica still working hard. Barcelona still the ones pushing to find more goals in this game. They'd like a couple more. Benfica are important that they don't concede from this point on, because they have fought very well, especially in the second half.
Barcelona now with this corner. Ball in towards the near post. That's cleared away well. And out now for a throw-in. Right, says, I don't want to beat Barca because their men's team can't stay solvent. I want to beat them because we raised our game. To be fair, it's not just on the men's team. As much as the men's team situation is financial situation is awful. The women's team have overspent, and now they're facing a problem. Falling behind, that's blocked well. I mean, Bonmati and Puteas they're the two highest earners in the women's game, and they make significantly more than anyone else. You can't really, it's not really financially viable to have both of those players on such high contracts. And they did have the opportunity as well to sell Puteas. I know she's an absolutely key part of this team, but that would have been a lot of money, and they wouldn't have had to sell half their squad.
Yeah.
But that's the decision they made. Changes now for Benfica. Martin Prieto making way for Raquel Engersvik. And it will be Beatriz as well. She'll be replaced by Carissa Boeckman.
Last roll of the dice then.
Pretty like for like there.
In
actual fact, Boeckman will slot into the midfield. I think that will be Engersvik into a bit more of an attacking midfield role. Oh, actually, I think she will lead the line. Ball down the left-hand side. Brilliant running there from Reisula. But that's blocked away. Reisula's ball, not brilliant. Lopez shimmies away from Boeckman, the substitute. Now looks to spray it to the left-hand side. Here's Mappy Leon. Knocks it onto Julia. Pina now. Back out wide to Julia. Blocked well, though. That pass cut out by Paoletta. And now smashed away by Benfica goalkeeper Powell's shirt and life caught out in there. Engersvik unable to capitalise. And here is Puteas. Plays it into Payor. Should score over the bar. And that is a good save again from Powell's. But Payor should do better. Has to make it more difficult there for the Benfica goalkeeper.
Yeah, again, good give and go between Puteas and Payor. Yeah, Payor probably should do better. That's a great fingertip save over the bar. Another one for Powell, who's been absolutely brilliant tonight.
Yeah, straight down the middle, though. Payor got to hit it either side of the goalkeeper, in my opinion.
Yeah, got to make it work a bit harder. Especially, you've lifted it up for her anyway. But yeah, Barcelona.
Excellent note from Powell's again.
Could have really had a couple more. Just been inclinical in the last kind of 10-15 minutes, and of course that is partnered with the first half.
8 saves, including a penalty stop from the Benfica keeper. Absolutely excellent.
Yeah.
I think she's probably my player of the match. Puteas can't quite keep that in touch, and that will be a Benfica goal kick. So I tend to play them. Can Barcelona add to their tally?
They'll hope so. They've definitely had the opportunities to.
Gretchen says Benfica, just a ragged touch or two from giving Barca some trouble. Yeah, I think they've forced opportunities. They've made life difficult at times for Barcelona, but they haven't really capitalised on Barca's mistakes fully. They had the Kata Carl going out wildly in the first half. Gaspar couldn't slot it past us. Similar in the second half as Kata Carl was caught miles off her line. And yeah, it's been a little bit messy at the back from Barca. And Benfica then have gifted them goals as well, with Messi box defending for the third. A penalty conceded, of course, saved well by Powell's. And the own goal from Uchebe, criminal. A player in Uchebe is a fantastic game outside of that, but that moment, particularly poor pass picked off by Torreon. Now it's with Payor. Puteas takes aim, blocked wide. Corner now for Barcelona.
Yeah, another good move from Barca, another good block from Carol Costa. Puteas really should have had a goal herself in this game, especially with that penalty, but just other efforts as well, being blocked, being put over the bar, running wide. Yeah, again, that one was pretty straight. Probably a bit fortunate to get a corner out of it.
And it is now this corner for Barca.
15 corners. Incredible.
Looks like it'll be Graham Hanson to take this one. Ball in towards Torreon at the back post, who heads over the bar. And that, not brilliant from Marta Torreon. Should have found the target there, but just lifting over the bar.
Yeah, once again, finds herself unmarked at the back post and should do better. Stands well, gets her feet planted, just doesn't get the header right. Loops it up over the bar. Needs to be a bit more direct and get over that ball to head it down towards the goal.
Indeed. Goal kick then, and well, Alexandri has sat down and now will go off. So wasn't much need there to slow the game down. No, she's now decided she's absolutely fine and that they can play on. So that is a miracle.
I'm not sure if she was. I think she was walking off to make the sub, and the ref's gone, no, we're going to play.
Well, she probably saw the absolute age that Alexandra was taking to get off the pitch and decided, let's just play football.
Yeah. Just a weird one.
Now they will be able to make the sub.
What a confusing situation.
And at least now she is sauntering over with a little bit more urgency. Alexandri will be replaced by Aino Gomez, another player who I believe is more of a midfielder, but will slot in at centre half. And the other change, Eva Payor, to be replaced by Martine Fenger. And again, a lot of youngsters getting a run out for Barcelona.
Yeah, good to see them getting the opportunities.
I think that's their sixth teenager featured tonight. Brilliant down this left-hand side. From Yulia, ball into the box. No one able to meet it.
Yeah.
Or potentially seventh, actually. Yeah, seventh, I think, for Barca. Impressive stuff. Obviously, their hand forced somewhat, but the fact they've got players like Carla Yulia can come in and look, well, not far off the level.
Yeah, good ball in that from Julia, and just no one could really meet it in the area.
And a big goal in the game between Voloregna and Paris FC. Voloregna 0, Paris FC won a goal from the spot as Lorenzo Azzaro.
Better late than never.
The back of the net from the penalty spot. Handball in the box from Sada Horta. And that, a very unfortunate way for Voloregna to concede. And that will dash their chances, their realistic chances of progression now. Voloregna, they need to win in match day 6 and hope that they can the results elsewhere go their way. But there we go. So, back now to Gomez. Leon. Gomez. Back to Leon. Looking for the forward pass. Plays into Puteas, who now knocks it across to Gomez. Now let's play down the right-hand side. Lopez. Trying to come forwards there. Was Torreon. Nowhere to go, though. Big challenge in there from Leon. Drops now for Pina. So it looks like Gomez has come on and just slotted into right back. And Marta Torreon has gone to centre half. Which is a very makeshift back line. But Barca feeling confident in this position. This is the problem. You can't do this in the Champions League knockout phase.
You can't.
Knockout stages.
But I think very much sensing the opportunity to rest tonight. I don't think.
No, of course, but I think without investment in January, I think they will be. I don't think they've got the depth right now, Barcelona.
Yeah.
Hansen coming forwards. Wenger around the corner into Lopez. Trying to make the room for the shot. Blocked away and cleared away well in there by Carol Costa. Torreon. Hansen exchanging with Gomez. It's back now to Catalina Cole. Leon. Julia. Now Pina, who wants to come inside. Good challenge. Deemed a foul though. Well, the referee didn't see much wrong with that one. But there we go. Puteas back now to Leon. Torreon. Hansen. Gomez. Hansen back to Gomez. Shifts it to Shirton live. Now Lopez. Lovely turn in there from Vicky Lopez. Here's Alexia Puteas trying to make something happen. That ball cut out well by Benfica. Martins. Nowhere to go. Leon. Now Alexia Puteas. Pina. Takes aim. And that into the grasp of the goalkeeper. Yeah, Peanut just opening up there for the shot, straight down the throat.
You've had quite a few tonight, Peanut. Has had a lot of opportunities and has failed to take any. Hasn't taken any of them.
As Ato said, if current results hold, Chelsea guaranteed to be in the knockouts. 13th team can only go up to 7 points. Chelsea have 8. Yeah, it was 8 points is what we were looking at really as the sort of the forecast did, I think. Points you need to get through, which is only either 2 wins and 2 draws or 3 wins. So it is kind in a sense this format, but the biggest thing obviously is the knockout playoff round, and that all the big teams want to be in the top 4 because that is significantly less games to have to play. We're moving into stoppage time now. And there'll be 5 minutes of additional time. Some genius at UEFA. There's nowhere to be.
Yeah, quite a few injuries. A lot of substitutions and a couple of VAR checks in there as well. It's had a lot in the second half. 3 goals as well to go with it.
It does feel like I like the fact that I think the fair stoppage time is good, but I think some common sense needs to be applied with it.
Yeah, I agree with the. It depends which game it is, and depends. I think sometimes we've had some ludicrous ones, like when we've had if the game's 4-0, 5-0, and you add on 8 or 9 minutes, that's just absurd. But I think anything past 6, it would have needed to have been a major noticeable stoppage.
Here is Vicky Lopez driving it forwards. Pina now opens up the body wide of the mark.
Another one.
Pina unable to find the target, but I don't think anyone complains there at 3-1 if 3 minutes of additional time were added.
Yeah.
But there we go. Yeah, Pina just couldn't quite wrap her foot around that and get it on target.
I'm just stunned she hasn't scored tonight. I really am.
Zeta says, I forget the top 4 have a bye, don't they? Straight through to the quarterfinals, that top 4 bracket. And the next 8 teams will be in the knockout playoff round, and the final 6 are knocked out of the competition. And then is it those 6 teams who are knocked down to the Europa Cup, or is it 6 teams? Oh no, that was from the earlier stage, wasn't it?
Yeah, they're done now. Europa Cup they've drawn their knockout.
It's a shame. I think like the losers of the knockout playoff round should go into the Europa Cup.
Yeah,
then the Europa Cup should probably be put on TV somewhere.
Yeah, that would help. I think it's one of those where for some UEFA have very much made it for the sides that aren't in the Champions League, which I think I don't get. It's like when they have an extra race at Sports Day for the kids that aren't athletic. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Like
it's nice because someone will be able to get European glory, but I don't think it would weaken their chance, because if you're looking at the current bracket, the teams that are going to get knocked into that are the likes of Paris FC potentially, or an OH Leuven right now. They're teams that aren't, aren't better at all than BK Häcken. Ball into the box, just out for Martins, straight to the goalkeeper. Should have done better there, Martins. Great opportunity.
Yeah.
But you think of the teams left in that competition, think, your Hammarby's, your BK Häckens, those kind of sides. I don't think there's any side, unless a big, unless a big side falls, but then a big upset happens. But then that creates more interest in the Europa Cup because you've got a team, for example, like an Arsenal, if they were to get knocked out.
Yeah.
If it was a big team like that draws eyes on the second competition, which I think would be great for UEFA. But
you can't even bloody watch.
You can't even watch the competition, which is absurd.
Yeah.
Free kick now.
Yeah, it wasn't a great tackle that. Buteas was taken out, and that will be the first yellow card of the evening. Taken 94 minutes. And to be fair to Benfica, they've been much more disciplined. Amado, the one there picking that one up.
Yeah, the only yellow card of the game.
Yeah. Which is positive for Benfica, because there's been a few games this tournament where they have just gone around kicking people and picked up 6. I think 5 of their starting 11 came into this game knowing that if they got booked again, they'd be suspended for the last match.
Yeah, I think 4 yellows in the game against Juventus. It was another 2 yellows against Arsenal.
Pina, can she finally sort of dummy
3
that?
against 28. Play quickly here into Lopez in a good area. Parried down. Uchebe deals well. Here is Hansen. Don't mind that little routine there. Yeah. Almost worked out. Ooh. Ball across the box now. Kept alive by Pina. Cleared away. Shot from range now from Carla Julia over the bar. And that will likely be the last action of the game. Barcelona all but confirming their place into the last 8. They need a point next week to guarantee themselves a place in the quarterfinals, which is exactly where Barcelona want to be. They don't want to have to play that knockout playoff round in February. They should get automatic passage into the quarterfinals. And that is the final whistle here at the Estadio Johan Cruyff. Barcelona 3, Benfica 1. Dominant first half for Barcelona, a messy second half display. Benfica failed to capitalise on those opportunities, and Barcelona forced some errors out of their opponents. And that gave them a nice 3-1 victory. That, though, is everything for this early stream. We'll be back for more Champions League action in 10 minutes' time. So stay on this stream page. It will redirect you to our next game as Manchester United take on OL Leones. Join us there. That, though, is everything. Thank you guys very much for watching, and we'll see you in a moment.